Hey everybody, welcome back to Steve's Garage. I'm Steve and you all know Earl. Well, we haven't been doing too many videos because I've been doing a lot of priming and sanding, and I don't know, I watch these videos of other guys and it just doesn't interest me. So I thought maybe it didn't interest any of you guys, so I haven't really been showing it. But I'm down to wet sanding now, and I thought maybe I'd show you some of the wet sanding, just mainly for my content, so I could get something out there so you didn't think I disappeared. It's just a lot of time-consuming work. I have epoxy primed this after all the metal work was done. I've filled it, I've sanded it, I primed it 2 coats. I blocked that. I filled issues I had, all little pinholes. Then I primed it 2 more coats. I blocked that, and I blocked it with 320, then down to 400 grit paper, and now I'm down to wet sanding with 600 grit paper. So I've got 2, 4, 5 coats of primer, 2 fill, 2 areas where I had to fill in between, 2 blocking with long blocks, sanding, and I'm not a paint guy. This is all new to me. This will be the 4th car that I've painted myself, but I've learned on every car, and it all comes back to, I was a builder for 40 years. I had 38 years of my own business, and I retired a couple of years ago. But everything starts with a foundation. So if I look at building cars similar to construction, it's all about a foundation, and then you're building on top of that, and that's the paint. So I learned as I went on with on my 4th car here now. I've also got friends, my buddy Ed, and other people that I've talked to about cars. I've watched a ton of YouTube videos because we all know anything you want to learn, watch YouTube. And so I've just learned that sand. It's all about, you keep on, you fill in and you work, you sand it back down, find out what you're left with. I'm done. This is as far as I'm going to go. Right now this is the black is guide coat. It's like a powdery chalk that I've rubbed on the car. As you can see in this section right here, there's no guide coat on it because this is sanded down to 600 grit. With 600 grit wet sandpaper, with water on it, and the guide coat stays behind in little areas that are low, dimples or orange peel like they call it, and you sand that out, and so far so good. It's looking pretty good. So I'm going to show you basically what I've done quickly, and then I'm going to do some sanding, and hope you enjoy it. If you watch it, awesome. Please like and subscribe. I've got 308 followers now. We just started back this spring. I've got 141 or 2 videos out. Definitely dedicated to trying to show you some good stuff here. But as soon as I get this thing finished sanded with wet 600 grit, I'm going to put my base coat down, which is a black, and then we're going to put the body on the car. And then I'm going to do the candy apple on this section because I have to lift this up. I don't want to scratch the paint when I put the body on the car. So I wanted to get it there. If I have any issues, I can repair it and then go forward. Hopefully I won't have any issues because no one likes going backwards. In the process of building a car, you go backwards constantly because you build up, work, sand down, you find dents, you fill, you're constantly chasing all these little imperfections around, and hopefully you're going to get a really cool result. So that's what we're shooting for on this one. 2nd car built from scratch, 4th paint job, and again, on every project I learn something. I learn a whole new set of rules and how to do this stuff. And the most important part is I learn how to do it easier, how to work smarter, not harder. And that's a great saying, but using the different types of sanding grit that I've been using, and when I first started, I was using aggressive sandpaper because, again, woodwork. And but then I have all these scratches. I have to go backwards, fill, and redo. So it's just a lot of learning, but it's all getting better. So let me show you what we got here, and we'll go from there. So This again is a black powder that we just rubbed on there like chalk. And this is a section that I have already, this is wet down here if you're seeing that, because I just had a little touch up. So I put some self-etching primer on there because I burnt through the metal right there. So this is, after 600 grit, it's hard to see. I got a light here, maybe this will show us better. But if you look with the light, there's some black powder on there, so don't let that fool you. But I think I've done a pretty good job in sanding this down and getting that really ready for paint, you know. Still has to be cleaned and washed, but that's just this one fender. So I'll have to do the side and all this up here. But so far I couldn't be happier with the result of this section here. And it's going to be black, and of course black shows everything. So let's get going on it, and we'll do a little bit of guide coat sanding, wet sanding with 600. Paper's been soaking in here for about 20 minutes, and we'll get going. Now when I wipe back with this rag, I can see where I still have to sand because that guide coat's still on there. I get that down to nice gray, and I've got a good job now, I know. And again, like I said, I'm not a car guy. I'm not a painter. This is not going to SEMA, but it's going to look pretty good in my book. I'm sure I'll be very happy. So today is Sunday. Sunday fun day. Look at me go. Crappy yesterday. My wife and I spent the day at the pool with our little dog, our little French bulldog. Hot for her, so we had to have her in and out of the house. And but man, we've been in a bad rainy pattern. In fact, tonight they're saying possibility of 4 to 6 inches of rain. So we're at the point now where we really don't need any more rain, but I'm growing a garden with my tomato plants. The corn's loving it, the heat and the rain. Well, they say your corn should be knee-high by the 4th of July. My corn is actually about 5 feet tall, so we did all right there. And my tomatoes hate it. My tomatoes are not doing well. Too much water. So they're not happy. So today, again, since it's Sunday, we had our local cars and coffee this morning. Down and saw the guys and gals. I'm going to do a shout out to Joe's Footprints, J-O-S Footprints on YouTube. She does videos of car shows and all this. And this morning she did a video, a short of my hot rod, Lily, green and black hot rod, which you see on my channel. And so shout out to Joe, thank you, nice job. So I want to kind of do this in sections, kind of work from the top down. Your hands don't lie either, so when you feel something, I'm just going to run my hand over it. You can feel things that are not perfect. It's looking pretty good so far. You have to have some hand paper too. You can't do everything with a block. So on these little curves here, kind of fits right with the tips of my fingers. That's what I use to make these curves when I use the Bondo body filler. You go with a light touch, you're not digging. What we got? Look at that. If you can see that on the camera. Probably not. Bring the camera over after and show you. That was pretty good. Doesn't take long. And another guy I've watched on YouTube, and one thing he said, you know, if you take one sentence from every hour of YouTube you watch, when you're looking for help, this guy said one thing, and I always try to take one thing away from all conversations. And he said, always use sharp paper. And then he got into the fact that, yes, everything is expensive. All the paper is expensive. All the paint products are expensive. All of it's expensive. But he said, if you're going to be cheap, you're not going to get a good job. So if you're taking and trying to, shortcut by like, oh, I can get more time out of that paper. What's happening is, right on? So what's happening is, maybe you're saving $1 or $2 on paper, but it's taking you twice as long to do it. So if you value your time, you've got to, use good products. So you use sharp paper and, go so far, change your paper over, and it goes fast. All of a sudden, if you're using a dull paper, you'll be here going and going and going. Nothing's getting done. So use sharp paper. Paper stays, wet sandpaper lasts longer. This was a dry application. I'm trying to sand, primer with dry paper. Well, hell, you're cutting that paper up quick. You're dulling it quick. But being wet, it just lasts longer because it's easier to cut. It's easier to cut through the paint. The water acts as a grease in a way. It goes pretty quick. It's actually pretty enjoyable. So you're seeing an outcome of what's happening. You're seeing all this guide coat go away. Then you're seeing dimpling, like the orange peel that you're trying to get rid of. And then all of a sudden, it's just you're down flat. And that orange peel goes away. And you're like, wow, success. Look what I've done. Look what I just did. You know? This is very, very satisfying. I'm one of them guys, I like to stay busy, obviously. When I retired, I didn't retire to do nothing. I retired to do this because this is a passion. I'm also an artist. I do oil painting and everything. You name it, we do it. I'm going to rewrap this block so I have fresh paper. It's a soft block, it says right on it. So it takes the contour. And again, we're not digging like we're trying to get a home run here. Going slow and just letting it work down. If you want to burn through your primer, you already did all that work. So all we want to do is see smooth everything. Looks good. So now I think I'm at the point where I can get off this little ladder. It actually is a ladder from an old shoe store. Flat on one side so you can get up tight against the wall, you know. Got a couple scratches in here I want to get rid of. Cool part about the guide coat is it's like light chalk, so you think, oh, just like run right off the car. But it doesn't. It stays behind in all the little holes. Or not holes. Hopefully we filled all the holes. But it stays behind on the all the low spots, all the might be considered orange peel, you know. Get it closer. Get you guys a little closer to the action. Oh yeah, you can see it on the, I mean, you can see how smooth we're getting. And you have to come in afterwards and all the, damn it all the little handwork block just hit the floor, so I want to make sure it's good and washed and we don't have anything left behind. Not a good time to be running a chunk of sand over it. I got these things, I sanded and sanded and sanded and got these things so smooth already. It doesn't need a lot of hand work with the 600 to get it where I'm looking to get it. Now damn it, Earl, stop sneaking up on me. We gotta move you back. One thing as YouTubers, we ought to get involved with doing something about the music. I always like to have music on when I'm working, and I can't do it with YouTube. So they put a copyright claim in. They're gonna come out of the woodwork and come get you. You bastard. Oh, sorry for swearing. Paper didn't hit the floor. If the paper hits the floor, get rid of it. Seems bizarre that we go through all this work and then we put all this water on it before we paint it, right? Well, here I can see if I can zoom in on that for you. Kind of hard to see, but I'm going to show you. I'll follow my finger where your camera is. All right, so you can see that that's a little dusted. Wipe that off. See how we're cleaning that up? This is where I've burnt through this 2 coats of primer, sanding this down, but that's 2 coats of primer under it. It's a different high build primer. There's 2 different types of primer, I should say. Fun, fun, fun. See all the fun building a car, guys and gals? This is what we do. No rhyme or reason. And you call this fun, Steve? What the hell's wrong with you, boy? I don't know. Must have been the 3 times I was dropped on my head. I'm all right, though. My mother had me tested when I was a kid. So if there's anything where I see a burn through, where I hit steel, because sometimes it happens, then I've got a little can of aerosol self-etching primer, and then I will hit that spot and then go over it with a 600 again. It will all be good. It'll all be good. Be a happy ending. Aww. It's enough to bring a tear to a glass eye. Live action coming at you. So I'm at the point where I have to change paper. Gotta get rid of this one. That's pretty used up. But I'm gonna wipe down what we've done. I'll show you on the camera. And again, this car has to be washed 15 times yet. Get it clean. Double check it with the light, see what's going on. I mean a close-up light right at it. All right, let me dry my hands on my pants. So you can see on the top what we've done. I mean, it's kind of, everything fades to gray, but as I go around it and see, like right here, see that spot? That needs more sanding, flat block, different directions, and take that down to flat, get rid of that. And so that's it. You keep washing. It gets all muddy with water. Not talking about muddy water, but you know what I'm saying? So far I think it looks pretty damn good, boy. So that's it. Wet sanding 101, 102 and 103. So, now Earl, get your act together. I think Earl got liquored up last night and been all hungover. So on behalf of me and old Earl, thanks for coming back. Can't wait to get the body on the car, and then we'll get, you know, more to paint. I've got more details. This car we're building from scratch. But if you look at my other videos, I got all the brake lines, all the brakes done. Moved my brake lever down, brake pedal I should say. Emergency brake done. Now we're wet sanding this car. It's as good as I'm gonna get it for the experience I have. Hopefully not too much will show, but really looking forward to it. Now Earl, what do you think about the car so far? Ain't got no gas in it, Steve. Thanks, Earl. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. It's Sunday. Get out there and do something, enjoy it. If you're going to work tomorrow, nah. Anyway, have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll keep you posted as we move forward here. Thanks a lot, everybody.